This is going to be a quick overview of the reassembly of the pre-cool door on the side of an Ideal 55 slider. If you saw a previous video, I showed what the inside of this looked like when we took it apart. And we actually had some of the original color on the inside of the door, which helped us get the color match right on this deep Pepsi blue that we just got back from the powder coater. So the door has just been powder coated with a clear coat on top, and it's been returned to us just yesterday. And so what I've done so far is just put these two pieces of wood, these are the backer pieces that hold the interior panel of the door onto the door itself. I put these back in place. What I did was I numbered these pieces and made a little diagram for myself when I took this thing apart, so I could make sure that I remembered what I was doing, what piece went where. And these pieces also have a notch in them, and that notch piece goes on the inside facing the door. So that notch piece does not show when you put this back in here. So the pieces just fit in into place. A little bit of elbow grease there. Okay, so that's that top piece fits in, and then this lower piece will do the same thing. Just slide into place down here. And you can see it already has the holes from when the door was put together before. And the other piece that's missing is this piece of wood, which goes where the door mechanism, locking mechanism, comes through. And this is just this is the way it was. It wasn't attached. It was just sitting in here when we took the door apart. So that's just a block of wood that sits in there, and it's notched to accommodate the wood trim right there. So the next phase to do was to put back some insulation. So the insulation inside this machine was pretty trashed. It had definitely seen its better days. So we're replacing the insulation with some new fiberglass insulation we got at Home Depot. I've already pre-cut this piece to fit in here with the notch for the lock there. And you can see it's Owens Corning R6.7 unfaced. You don't want any facing on this insulation, any of the paper backing, in case moisture does get in there. It's not a good thing to have. So you want this unfaced R6.7, and the specs on it are that it puffs out to 2 inches thick, which is as close as I can approximate to the original insulation that was in the machine. I think it's a pretty good recreation of it. So that'll go in there, and then the next step would be to put the gasket, the door gasket, in here. I have a replacement door gasket that I got from Funtronics. Shout out to them for all their parts. This just fits in here, and it's going to go with the this raised part facing out to get a good seal when the door closes. It's not cut to length, so you have to cut it, I guess, for the sizes of the trim. And then the last part would be to put the door backing back on. So I'm just fitting it in place so you can see how that fits. As you can see, as I said, this gasket will go underneath it and be facing out like this. And it'll be screwed down with wood screws that go through here. This door also was pretty trashed. It had a lot of residue on it from where the instruction label was in the past. It long gone by the time I got this machine, and it was discolored. The best cleaning material I found for this door and for the other galvanized tub for the machine is actually this paint stripper, paint and varnish stripping gel. And it's got a citrus smell, which is not bad. Found it on Amazon. Just got to make sure you use heavy-duty gloves with this, and you can apply it with a paintbrush. It's water-soluble, so you can rinse it off with water. But I put a coat of that on here and basically let it sit for a couple hours. The trick is, if you're going to let it sit on there, you want to cover it with some saran wrap over the top of the door, and then that helps the chemical reaction of the stripper work. And then once I did that, everything came off this door like nothing. So highly recommend that stripping agent. So I'll be putting the trim back on, the rubberized trim, and then screwing this back together. And then we'll show you an after video maybe when everything's put back on. Hope this is helpful to some people.